You may have knowledge, skills, even opportunities. But without the right mindset and core habits, everything becomes wasted potential. In a world obsessed with shortcuts to wealth, those who achieve lasting success quietly build from within, mastering time, discipline, learning, solution-driven thinking, strategic networking, and patience. These 6 habits don't just change your bank account, they reshape your entire life in ways you never imagined. Now, let's dive into the journey of decoding the 6 transformative habits that helped high achievers break through. Step by step, decision by decision, action by action. Valuing time creates real wealth. Success doesn't come from doing more than others, it comes from using time more wisely. Time is the only resource equally given to everyone, yet it's the most wasted. Successful people don't spend time. They invest it into actions that yield long-term returns. They reject short-term temptations to focus on lasting goals. Their schedules aren't filled, they're strategically designed. They carefully select each task and every minute they live. They don't just work smart, they rest with intention. They know proper rest recharges energy for greater moves. Scheduling recovery time is a sign of clarity and control. They understand that no one performs at their best when exhausted, so they protect their downtime like they would a valuable asset. Every alert hour must produce tangible outcomes. Rest is no longer a luxury, it's a non-negotiable part of the growth strategy. Time is a non-renewable asset. While others scroll through social media or drift in meaningless entertainment, the successful learn investing, develop skills, and build the future. Every time decision is a life decision. They don't wait for perfect timing. They create results through intentional action. They treat time like invisible currency that must be spent wisely. And most importantly, they always know exactly what they're using their time to move toward. Lifelong learning fuels daily growth. Successful people never stop learning because they know knowledge is the lever that expands every boundary. They don't learn just to know. They learn to act, to grow further, to upgrade their mindset every day. Reading books, taking courses, and seeking feedback are all strategic moves. They don't chase random information. They selectively absorb what serves their goals. Every lesson must convert into value. Learning isn't for show, it's a tactical weapon. Learn to stand out. Learn to live with intention. They understand that real growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Those who truly improve are willing to place themselves in uncomfortable positions. They actively break out of mental routines to collide with new perspectives. They approach challenges like beginners, ready to ask, ready to start over. Facing difficulty is what strengthens them. Every lesson reshapes their identity. Every shift in thinking moves them forward on the map of personal evolution. They're also not afraid to ask for guidance. They seek mentors to save time and avoid unnecessary mistakes. They view mentorship as an accelerator. They don't resist feedback or avoid criticism. They know those who crave growth must learn from people who've already walked the path. Learning is no longer a bonus, it becomes a lifestyle. And this relentless pursuit of knowledge is what permanently separates them from the crowd in both mindset and results. Don't complain, solve relentlessly. Successful people never trap themselves in the victim mindset. When problems arise, they don't waste time complaining or pointing fingers. Instead, they instantly activate solution-based thinking. The first question they ask isn't, "Why did this happen?" but "What can I do next?" Shifting from emotion to action allows them to regain control instead of sitting in frustration. Solution thinking is where breakthroughs begin. They don't seek perfection, they seek adaptability. When a door closes, they don't knock endlessly. They observe, assess, and pivot swiftly. They never blame the environment, they take ownership of their response. Fast rethinking and decisive action, even with incomplete information, help them move faster than others. Their ability to reframe under pressure gives them a strategic edge. They're not reactive, they create new momentum when others freeze. They also plan ahead with contingencies. Successful people constantly ask, "What if this fails?" or "What's the backup plan?" They don't fear risks because they've already built buffers, financially, intellectually, and relationally. They prepare to weather storms, not avoid them. Above all, they train themselves to ask better questions. Instead of staying stuck in "Why me?" they ask, "What am I missing?" The right question at the right time unlocks solutions, even in moments that feel like dead ends. Connect with the right people, unlock the right doors. Successful people understand one truth: you can't go far alone. They don't just build relationships, they build ecosystems of value. Every connection is rooted in sincerity, listening, and mutual benefit. They don't begin by talking about themselves, they start by asking what others need. The mindset of giving comes first. And when you deliver real value, you don't have to sell yourself. Opportunities will find you. They don't network for short-term gains, they build for long-term alignment. The right relationship can open doors you couldn't unlock alone. They join events, professional groups, and purpose-driven communities to cultivate opportunity-rich environments. It's not about the number of people, it's about the right ones. A single referral from someone who trusts you can be worth years of solo effort. That's why they invest time, energy, and authenticity into every connection. They also know, to build quality relationships, you must first become a quality person. They continuously level up so they can align with the people they aim to collaborate with. No one wants to connect with someone negative, lazy, or irresponsible. They know their worth but remain humble. They show up with a helpful mindset, take responsibility, and radiate positivity. A strong network isn't just a gateway to success, it's a long-term incubator for mutual growth. Discipline builds true freedom, not restriction. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's the key to unlocking real freedom. Successful people don't wait for motivation to act. They build systems of habits that function consistently, regardless of mood. They know that motivation follows action, not the other way around. They set non-negotiable blocks of time for critical work and never debate with themselves about showing up. Each day becomes a vote for the person they are becoming. They also build clear rules for how they manage money, energy, and time. They turn down short-term temptations to protect long-term goals. Instead of emotional spending, they invest strategically. Instead of careless eating, they follow a routine that supports productivity. Instead of mindless scrolling, they read, meditate, or work on personal projects. Every habit reflects intention. Every decision reflects commitment. Their daily life is built on clarity and self-control. Discipline also shows in their ability to say no. They don't do everything, they do the right things. They say no to unaligned invitations, no to draining people, no to distractions that steal deep focus. Discipline helps them shape their environment rather than be shaped by it. It's not about force, it's a declaration. A statement that says, I know what I want and I act accordingly every single day. Patience wins big. Don't settle for instant rewards. Success doesn't come from sudden bursts, it grows from long-term accumulation. High achievers always choose the long road, knowing sustainable results never come from haste. They resist the urge to win fast, get rich quick, or become famous overnight. Instead, they spend time building strong foundations. They see each daily action as an investment, not a one-time expense. Patience is the superpower that helps them outlast and outpace everyone else. They deeply understand compound growth, not just in finance, but in every part of life. One small action, repeated daily, creates massive change over years. A good habit, a meaningful relationship, or a honed skill all need time to mature. While others quit because results don't show immediately, they keep going because they see the big picture. They know the sweetest fruits always ripen after a season of consistent planting. They also avoid temporary satisfaction. They don't celebrate too early or stop improving after small wins. The mindset of "this is enough" is the enemy of greatness. They nurture healthy ambition, not from lack, but from a refusal to settle for average. Patience with the process is not passive waiting. It's a bold choice to pursue extraordinary results over comfortable shortcuts. That patience becomes the backbone of long-term success. Turn habits into a personal operating system. Successful people don't practice habits in isolation, they integrate them into a unified system. Every daily action plays a role in a larger loop of performance. They don't simply learn, stay disciplined, connect, or manage time. They code those elements into their life's operating system. When a good habit is repeated long enough, it no longer demands willpower. The system ensures that positive behaviors run on autopilot, day after day. The true power lies in the synergy between habits. Learning sharpens thinking. discipline maintains the learning rhythm. Smart time use creates room for consistency. Networking multiplies the value of everything learned. Patience sustains it all through the slow growth phases. Together, these habits form the gears of a high-efficiency machine. That's why they no longer push themselves. They let the system pull them forward. They don't rely on emotion to stay on track. The system is built to guide them even on low-energy days. Mornings, work hours, evenings, each part of their day follows a clear structure. They don't micromanage tasks, they design a framework. This is how they achieve large goals with high consistency. When you build the right system, the system itself becomes your engine, and that engine lifts you to new heights, automatically, relentlessly. Are you following habits or living your identity? The deep difference between successful people and the rest isn't just action. It's identity. They don't just perform good habits because they have to. They act that way because it reflects who they've chosen to become. They don't try to learn. They are lifelong learners. They don't have to work out. They are people who take care of their bodies. Identity shapes behavior. When you redefine who you are, discipline stops being forced. It becomes natural. High performers are clear about the kind of person they want to be. They don't let society, the past, or failure define them. They intentionally choose their future self, then align their habits to reinforce that identity every day. Every decision, every action declares, "I live with purpose." They understand this truth. You don't need to transform everything overnight. You just need to act today like the person you aim to be tomorrow. Identity isn't fixed. It's forged. When habits match identity, your inner power is unlocked. No more internal battles, no more waiting for motivation. If you're a disciplined person, you follow through. If you're someone who invests in yourself, you study daily. Action is no longer a task, it's a reflection of who you are. And when who I am and what I do are aligned, confidence soars. Growth becomes sustainable, and momentum becomes unstoppable. Break free from procrastination and fear of failure. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because procrastination drags them down. They wait for motivation to strike, wait for perfection, wait until they feel ready. But high performers understand this. Action comes first, emotion follows. They don't need clarity to begin. They act despite uncertainty, knowing that clarity is earned through experience, not waiting. The first step is always the boldest and the one that makes everything else possible. They also don't let fear of mistakes hold them back. Instead of seeing failure as defeat, they treat it as valuable data. They respond quickly, adjust immediately, and never let one mistake define the outcome. They understand that real growth isn't theoretical. It's forged through real-world action. While the majority stay on the sidelines seeking safety, successful people step into discomfort and level up through it. Mistakes don't destroy progress. Hesitation does. They also don't go it alone. They design environments that support action, not sabotage it. They join communities, work with peers, and stay accountable to those who share their goals. They eliminate distractions and build systems that make it easier to show up. When they hit a wall, they don't spiral. They call for help, ask for insights, or pivot. They know that you don't need to be strong all the time. You just need to stay in motion. Escaping procrastination isn't luck, it's strategy. Choose to live intentionally, or be led by circumstance. Every day, you face a choice. Take control of your life, or be controlled by it. High performers don't let schedules, social media, or other people's expectations run their lives. They choose what deserves their time, energy, and attention. They don't chase everything. They pursue what matters. Life should not be lived on autopilot. It must be designed with clarity and intention. No one succeeds by accident. Only those who know where they're going ever get there. The 6 habits you've learned aren't quick hacks. They are a blueprint to redesign how you live, work, and grow. From how you manage time, learn, respond to challenges, connect with others, exercise discipline, and stay patient, all of it matters. You don't need to change your whole life in one day, but you do need to begin. Every small action you take today is a vote for the future version of yourself. Pause for a moment and ask, whose design am I living by? If it's not your own, it's time to take the wheel. You weren't born to be average, but if you don't act, you'll drift with the crowd. These 6 habits don't require talent, only intention and repetition. A great life doesn't need miracles. It needs someone willing to do the right thing consistently, no matter how tough. And that someone can start today. These 6 habits aren't shortcuts to instant success. They are the framework to own your life in the long run. When you invest time strategically, learn relentlessly, face problems with solutions, build value-based connections, stay disciplined, and commit to the long game, you stop living by chance and start living by design. Every small action repeated with intention becomes part of a system that moves you forward without fail. Don't wait for life to change. Be the one who changes it, starting with one powerful habit today.